news for your hometown. This is WNNE News 31 at 6.
Coming up at 6, New Hampshire may be in trouble if they don't come up with an acceptable education funding plan by the end of the month. Queechee is hopping right now. How does the Balloon Festival boost the town's economy? And a scorcher today. We'll tell you how those who work outdoors are dealing with the heat. Good evening, I'm Heather Hamel. New Hampshire Governor Jeanne Shaheen is warning lawmakers they may be in for a long summer. Shaheen says the current education funding plans aren't acceptable, and she's warning state government could shut down if lawmakers don't hand her a good solution by the end of the month. News 31's Caroline Cornish has more.
As House and Senate lawmakers begin to hash out a compromise education funding plan, harsh words and a warning from Governor Jeanne Shaheen. She says Republican leaders are risking a government shutdown by sending her an unacceptable funding proposal at the last minute.
I will not give in to that kind of blackmail. I will not accept a solution that is unconstitutional, that is unbalanced, and that is against the interests of the people of New Hampshire.
The state must have a funding solution by the end of the month, but Shaheen says the budget recently passed by the Senate relies on inflated revenue projections. She accuses Republican leaders of meeting behind closed doors, not being willing to compromise.
This is no way to make serious tax and education policy.
But House Republican leaders say that the legislature will get the job done by next month. And they say the governor's words today are nothing more than political posturing.
I think that this is high-stakes poker for the governor. I think that we will get the job done by June 26th. She will have a package before her, and she has that option to reject it.
And Senate Republicans deny their bill that reduces the cost of an adequate education is unconstitutional.
Senator Gordon called over to the Attorney General's office to see if they had made any type of a comment, whether it was constitutional or not, and they had no idea what he was talking about.
House Republicans say the governor will have a funding bill on her desk by the end of the month, and it won't include a broad-based tax. Caroline Cornish, News 31, Concord.
The governor also said Republican leaders are refusing to release the results of a state-funded revenue option analysis, and Republican leaders say that those results aren't yet complete. The arson trial of a Vermont man has ended in a mistrial. 53-year-old Walter Robertson of Reigate is charged with arson for the fire that destroyed this North Haverhill home last summer. But during testimony, a police officer revealed fingerprint tests had been done on evidence collected at the scene without the knowledge of both attorneys.
And what happened is we have rules of evidence disclosure, and they weren't followed. It wasn't apparently done intentionally, but that means that this trial has to end.
The state is expected to request a retrial. 2 are dead following a motorcycle crash in Meredith. State police say 27-year-old Frank Susi of Rhode Island swerved his motorcycle into the oncoming traffic on Route 3 just after midnight, hitting another bike. Susi and a female passenger were killed. One other motorcyclist was injured. Police aren't sure if alcohol was involved. Hundreds of thousands of motorcyclists are gathering in the Lakes region for the annual Bike Week. Extra police are on patrol, but authorities say accidents are inevitable with so many motorcycles on the road. A Bethel teenager is in jail tonight charged with almost 20 burglaries. 18-year-old Dana Westcott was charged along with 2 other men for 19 counts of burglary. Police say the trio broke into homes in Orange and Washington counties, and police also say Westcott carried a handgun with him on several of the break-ins, so he faces additional charges. Westcott is being held on $10,000 bail. The annual Queechee Balloon Festival starts tonight, and that means big business for local store owners. Every year, thousands of people come out to watch the colorful balloons take flight, but shops are also taking the opportunity to show a new crowd their wares.
It's certainly a big weekend, but it just really kicks off the summer. As far as business goes.
There is definitely a local customer base that knows Simon Pierce is here, but the nice thing about the Balloon Festival is it brings people from outside who I don't think would normally come to Queechee.
The festival runs through this weekend. Amtrak says it's committed to Vermont and wants to fully restore its service. Amtrak's Vermonter service was suspended 2 weeks ago after the railroad company discovered some parts of the tracks were out of alignment. Until last week, passengers were being bused from St. Albans to Springfield, Massachusetts, while the tracks were being worked on. But Governor Dean had feared that Amtrak might consider abandoning the Vermonter altogether if there was another transportation alternative available. The Vermonter may not run until the end of the month. The rate of teen pregnancies in this country is dropping. This according to a new government report by the Centers for Disease Control. The question is, why? Cindy Pena has more.
Teen pregnancy fell to its lowest level since 1976, when national rates were first recorded. Many believe education about AIDS and sexually transmitted diseases have helped change teenagers' attitudes toward sex. Also, government funding for abstinence programs began in 1998.
We want to see kids being able to be kids, and ideally we'd like to see kids encouraged to participate in sports and other extracurricular activities as opposed to getting involved in a sexual relationship.
Others say abstinence must be taught with sex education.
Effective programs, according to all of the research, are those balanced programs that give kids information and skills to delay intercourse, balanced with information about contraception and safer sex.
Another reason is the strong economy, which may be giving teenagers reason to believe that it pays to stay in school and get a good job.
This decline is everywhere. It's in all ethnic groups. It's in all areas of the country, all income levels and so forth. It is clearly a profound shift in the attitudes and behavior of teens.
Credit for the decrease goes to teenagers who are making smarter choices in delaying sex or using contraception.
According to government reports, taxpayers spend $7 billion each year to care for the children of unwed teenagers. And still to come, if you like pancakes, get ready to pay a little more for your favorite topping. And a Lebanon landmark is getting a makeover. Stay with us.
Closed captioning for News 31 is sponsored as a public service by Mascoma Savings Bank.
Lebanon's landmark City Hall clock is getting a makeover, but replacing a timepiece with a 6-foot-high face 5 stories off the ground isn't your typical project. A Wolfboro business, Target New England, is busy getting the historic clock up and running. Here's Target's Jim Doherty in his own words.
We've been hired to restore the clock mechanism and the clock itself. This clock tower is probably about 80 feet in the air. The clock was built by Seth Thomas probably in 1875. It's going to cost about $25,000. It's taken us almost a month already. All right, fix it, get it working, disconnect it, put it back in the lift, bring it back up into the clock, and reconnect the whole thing so it works. There is a lot of pride in what we do, and that's what we put our quality into, making it last, making it for the people that are here to see it, plus their kids when they come back, because to restore a clock like this, you're not going to do it every year. If you do something like this once every 50 years or once every 100 years, then you're in the ballpark. Sometimes you go to clocks that haven't been done since they've been brand new, and they're 150 years old, and nobody's ever been up there to fix it. We consider our job to be anything in high places.
You can expect to see the finished clock running in about 2 weeks. It's going to cost a bit more to pour maple syrup on your pancakes. Twin State maple producers say prices are going up because production is down. Deep snow through the spring hurt sap gathering efforts, so both Vermont and New Hampshire made about 40% less syrup than average. For Vermont, that means about 275,000 gallons. Granite State producers made about 45,000 gallons. What does that mean to consumers? Retailers say higher prices are inevitable, but most people will still buy.
They know that quality is going to be high, and I think they are willing to pay. We're certainly willing to pay whatever the local producer needs to make it. I think we could safely say probably 10% increases across the board.
Last year, a gallon of fancy syrup sold on average for about $33. Retail sales of maple syrup are actually higher in the fall when tourist visitors are there. Bright sunshine and the highest temperatures we've seen in almost 2 years make today a great one for the beach. But what if you're working outside? News 31's Katherine Duffy has more on how people are getting the job done despite the scorching heat.
Full steam ahead for those working outside, even if today's steamy weather means little relief from the red-hot tools used to melt tar into an already scorching blacktop.
Sit in the oven for about 10 minutes, you'll find out. It's about what it feels like most of the time. And then the stuff that I'm doing, the material I'm putting on the cracks, is about 380 degrees, so it makes it even worse.
As midday temperatures soar past 90, a day at work means working up a sweat.
At least I get to enjoy the sunshine. I've been waiting for summer since the first snowfall, but it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Want to get hot on a hotter day?
Yeah, I'll try.
Even in the shade, vendor Lisa Locke says she feels as hot as her dogs.
My steam tables run at about 180, 190 degrees, and you've got the sun on you, and you're wilting.
So when it comes to outdoor labor, lifeguard Mike Vassell may have the best seat around.
Usually when nobody's here, I jump in.
Now, if you can't jump in a lake to cool off, people who work outside say common sense is the best protection against heat exhaustion and dehydration.
Drink plenty of water, take breaks, get out of the sun for a while.
Pouring water on myself, extra umbrellas. We go directly to the river in the afternoon, swim for a couple hours.
Anything it takes to help the hottest employees keep their cool. Katherine, Duffy, News 31.
Well, it sure was a hot one today. Can we expect a cool down anytime soon? Tom Mester's precision weather forecast is next. Stay with us. News Channel 31, hometown coverage you can count on. I'm Heather Hamel. You've always been able to get Upper Valley news here. Now News Channel 31 is giving you even more. More stories from around Vermont and across the region. More reporters focusing on Upper Valley news coverage. Plus Tom Messner's precision weather forecast. That's hometown coverage you can count on.
Wherever you live.
That's News Channel 31.
News Channel 31 at 6 and 11, starting Monday, June 18th.